Good day to everyone. Today we're going to discuss what is HTML and why is it important. At the end of the lesson, students shall be able to define what HTML, importance of HTML, the structure of HTML, and the different elements needed to start to create an HTML file. HTML, also known as Hypertext Markup Language, is considered as a leading markup language when it comes to web development. It is commonly used by other programming languages to create a website or a simple web page. HTML documents can be saved as .html, .htm, or an XHTML. It can be edited in any web programming editors, such as a simple notepad, or is it better to use in some advanced editors like Notepad++ or Visual Studio Code, or any editor you preferred in a web development. Then we have a simple knowledge to know that HTML has many versions. From HTML 1.0, we have now current version, the HTML 5.2, and it is continuously evolving and updating. We have the structures of HTML documents. When it comes to HTML documents, we have the elements and tags. When we call elements, elements are the components a web page have or an HTML file have. It includes links or anchors, paragraphs, tables, forms, lists, images, and many more. It is what we put in an HTML file. It is what we see on a web page. And when it comes to tags, it literally the code we used to create an HTML file. Let's say we have the HTML tags, anchor tags, bold tags, head tags, body tags. Any codes we used under HTML is what we call tags. Then we have the simple syntax below, which we have a tag name that is enclosed in a greater than and less than symbol, and we have the closing tag, which we have a slash. There are two kinds of tags we always encounter in when we are developing a web page. First is what we call the paired tag, and the second is the empty tag. When we say paired tags, these are the tags that is always have a start tag and a close tag, or we call the end tag. Start tag is the beginning of the it's of an HTML tag, and the end tag is the closing of an HTML tag, which we have in an example here of HTML div and p tag, or a paragraph tag. We have the start tag, and the end tag, or what we call the closing tag, which contains a slash before the tag name. Then we have the empty tag. Empty tag is a an HTML tag that doesn't need a closing tag or an end tag. We have an example of HTML tags or an empty tag, which we have the BR, or the break tag or broken line tag. We have the image tag or the IMG tag, and the input tag. These are the examples of an empty tag. Then we have the attributes. Attributes are additional information or characteristics given to an HTML tag. It is used to enhance or modify a tag, and is always placed within the start tag after the tag name, separated with space. When it comes to attributes, we can put more than one attribute in an HTML tag. Either it's pair tag or a close or an empty tag. And always remember, we are inserting attributes in the start tag of a pair tag. There are different attributes we can use or we can insert on in an HTML tag, but it depends on a tag we are using. So for more details of the attributes we can use in HTML, you can visit the link below in tips and tricks. We can visit the Mozilla dot developer.mozilla.org, or sometimes you can visit the w3school.com for more details. Attributes may be enclosed using a single or double quote. Several values can be assigned to an attribute, separating them with a comma. Most of the values of an attribute is always enclosed in a single or double quote, but depends on a value. We can also add multiple values in a single attribute. For example, we have a style attribute on an HTML tag, so we can use it to add some styles in a single value. Then we have some things to remember, that some attribute values in HTML may not be quoted if the attribute value is numeric, integer, and floating point numbers. Then we have the structure of an HTML file. So when it comes to coding of an HTML file, always remember that this structure is in hierarchical, or in hierarchy. It always follows the first in last out rule, or philo, which means when we create an HTML file, it will start in the start tag of an HTML tag, and it will also end in the end tag of an HTML tag. Same as the other paired tags. Let's say we have the head tag inside the HTML. Anything we put inside the head tag, always remember that the head tag will always end in its end tag. And as you can see, the example, we have the HTML code where it starts in HTML tag and it ends in closing tag or end tag of the HTML tag. And we have the basic structure that we always remember. Inside the HTML tag, we always have the head tag and the body tag. These two tags will never be uh, these two tags will always be included in the code of an HTML file. And inside the head tag, there is always a title tag where we put the title of the web page, and always the body after the head tag, which contains all of the elements we put on a web page. This is part of the file where we can see the output through the browser. And we have the sample hierarchical structure of the HTML, whereas the HTML tag is the main or the head of the structure, and under him is the head and the body tag, which is the two major parts of the HTML file. And under the head is a title tag, which is part of it. And the body tag, we have the paragraph tag or the p tag. Okay, these are the HTML tags that we need when we we are creating a basic HTML file or a web page. First, first of all, we have the HTML tag. It is a paired tag which indicates the document is an HTML. It is an indicator that the file you are creating is an HTML. And we have the head tag that holds the information about the document and is generally not displayed. It sometimes contains tags such as link, meta, title tag, script tag, base tag, and style tag. Then we have the body tag that contains all other tags and delimits the body section of the web page. And it is the visible part of an HTML file. Then we also have the comments. When it comes to comments, we are using the less than symbol and punctuation mark with the two minus symbol or two dash as its syntax. Then we have the two examples of a comment. Two examples of comments. The first one in the line 1 is the single comment, and the second one that starts in the line 3 and ends in the line 8, it is an example of a multi-line comment that comments multiple lines of codes in an HTML file. Then it is all the topic we have in lesson 1. Now you can test yourself if you learned something or if you remember the discussion. So here are the questions. Number 1, what is HTML? Number 2, What are the difference between an element and a tag? Number 3, what are attributes? Number 4, how do you find the first in, last out, or philo rule? And number 5, what are the core HTML tags? How do you structure them hierarchically? These are the 5 questions you need to answer to test yourself if you learned something on our lesson 1.